Okay, so today we'll be discussing about the cultivation of lemongrass. Have you people seen what is lemongrass, how it looks, what are its uses? I'm sharing the PDF that Dr. Talha has given me. So, okay, can you people see it on the screen now? The lemongrass.
Yes, ma'am.
So, coming to the introduction, its biological name or botanical name is Cymbopogon citratus, and it is a native aromatic tall sedge belonging to family Poaceae and grown in many parts of tropical and subtropical Southeast Asia and Africa. Uh, in India, it is grown in Western Ghats, mainly Maharashtra, Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, and in the foothills of Arunachal Pradesh and Sikkim. It originated, the origin of this lemongrass. Most of the species they are native to South Asia, Southeast Asia, and Australia, and so it is called as East Indian lemongrass. That is Cymbopogon flexosus, also known as Malabar or Cochin grass. In native to India is native to India, Sri Lanka, Burma, and Thailand. The variety that is grown in India, it is known as Cymbopogon flexosus. Then the West Indian lemongrass, that is Cymbopogon citratus. It is Malaysian origin and it is generally assumed to be originated in Malaysia. The botanical description of this species, it is tall perennial sedge throwing up dense fascicles of leaves from short rhizome. The culm, it is stout, erect, up to 1.8 meter high. The leaves, they are long, green, linear, tapering upwards and along the margins. The ligules, they are very short. Sheaths, they are terete, and those of barren shoots, they are widened and tightly clasping at the base. अगर आपने इसका देखा हो लेमन ग्रास को, अगर इसका प्लांट देखा हो तो आप देखेंगे कि इसकी लीव्स जो होती हैं दे आर नैरो, दे आर वेरी लॉन्ग, और जो जहां से लीव्स ओरिजिनेट करती हैं दैट पार्ट इट इज वेरी व्हाट यू से टाइटली क्लैश, बहुत टाइटली वहां पे पैक्ड होती हैं लीव्स, एंड एज द लीव्स दे ग्रो अपवर्ड्स दे स्प्रेड, जैसे नीचे से किसी ने पकड़ के उसको बांध दिया हो, इतना टाइटली वो पैक्ड रहती है नीचे से, और ऊपर से एकदम फ्रिल्स की, फ्रिल्स नहीं, नॉट एग्जैक्टली द फ्रिल्स बट शीट्स की तरह ये एकदम बाहर निकल रही होती हैं. The inflorescence it is long spiked about 1 meter in length. अगर आप देखें जब फ्लावरिंग होती है तो इन्फ्लोरेसेंस जो है एकदम स्पाइक इन्फ्लोरेसेंस about 1 meter in length, and the flowers they are decompound spathiate panicles. They are 30 to over 60 centimeter long. Then area and production in India, this crop it is grown in an area of about 3,000 hectares, and the major producing states are Kerala, Karnataka, UP, and Assam. And the annual production of this crop, that is lemongrass, it is somewhere between 300 to 350 tons per annum. Coming to the economic importance of this, as you know, the essential oils they are extracted, distilled from leaves and flowering tips, and it's strong. The oil it has a strong lemon-like odor because of high percentage of citral in the oil, and this citral it gives characteristic smell of citrus to this grass. The characteristic smell of oil makes it used in scenting of soaps, detergents, insect repellents. Many of the insects they are repellent to this smell, so it is also used as insect repellent. And it is also used in perfumes, cosmetics, and beverages also. If आप कभी try करके देखिए, it gives very aromatic. The beverage is very aromatic. नॉर्मल आप जो चाय बनाते हो उसमें थोड़ा सा टी लीव्स के साथ साथ लेमन ग्रास को भी अगर यूज करें तो इट गिव्स अ ब्यूटीफुल अ वेरी फ्रेग्नेंट एरोमा. Then it is also rich in vitamin A. The compound that is citral, it is rich in germicidal, medicinal, and flavoring properties. And the variety that is grown in India in the western region, that is the West Indian lemongrass, it is known to have lower citral content in the oil, and it has much trade in the country. Then coming to productional technology, that is the agroclimatic requirements of the crop. As I told you earlier, it is grown both in tropical and subtropical areas. The elevation needed is about 900 meters above the mean sea level. But the ideal conditions for its cultivation are warm and humid climate. As you can see, Kerala, Karnataka, all these places they have warm, humid climates with sufficient sunshine and a rainfall of around 250 to 330 centimeter per annum. And the temperature requirement is about 20 to 30 degrees centigrade. आपको पता है साउथ में ह्यूमिड कंडीशंस हैं, गर्मी भी इतनी नहीं होती है जितनी यहाँ हम लोग की तरफ होती है. तो द टेम्परेचर रिक्वायरमेंट इट रिक्वायर्स humid climate, warm humid climate, proper sunshine, 250 to 330 centimeter of rainfall, annual rainfall, and 20 to 30 degrees centigrade of temperature. And it can also be grown in semi-arid regions that receive moderate or low rainfall. The soil requirement is medium fertile soil with moderate irrigations, and well-drained sandy loam is most suitable for its growth. And as the temperature range, it can grow in a wide temperature range of 20 to 30 degree. Similarly, it can also be grown on a wide soil range from loam to poor laterite soils. Calcareous and waterlogged soils, they should be avoided because these soils they are not suitable for its cultivation. Now we have already studied about the areas in the states in India where it is grown. Once again, it is being repeated. It is grown in Kerala, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, and in the south region, then parts of UP, Uttaranchal, Assam, and northeastern region. Then central and western India also has some places where this crop is grown. and it is also cultivated throughout Andhra Pradesh either as rain-fed or irrigated crop in poor and marginal soils, wastelands, and alkaline soils having 9.6 pH. There are several varieties which are grown in the country. These includes Sugandhi, Pragati, Praman, Jama, Rosa, and then RPL 16, CKP 25, and all these varieties they have certain uh, of their own characters. Like for example, Sugandhi, that is OD19, it is adapted to wide range of soil and climatic conditions. Then a red stemmed variety with plant height, it is a red stemmed variety. जो stem होती है वो it is red in color, and the plant height it is about 1 to 1.75 meters, and the plant has profuse tillering मतलब tillers बहुत ज़्यादा होते हैं, बहुत dense canopy होती है. And the oil yield it ranges from 80 to 100 kg per hectare, with 85 to 80%, 88% of total citrol produced under rain-fed conditions. Then other variety, that is Pragati, it is tall growing variety having dark purple leaf sheets, and it is suitable to grow in North Indian plains, mainly the Tarai belts of subtropical and tropical climate region. In average oil content of this variety, it is around 0.63%, with the citrol content ranging from 75 to 82%. Then how we propagate this crop? It is best propagated through seeds that are raised in nurseries, and 5 kg of fresh seed produces enough seedling for planting 1 acre of land. तो 1 एकड़ में अगर आपको ये लेमन ग्रास को ग्रो करना है, then 5 kg of fresh seeds they are enough to be sown in that area. Then apart from propagating it through seeds, it is also propagated by means of splitting the clumps into slips. Clumps into slips, जो इसका basal region होता है, we cut it down into small strips or slips, and then we plant them, and it is in this manner propagated vegetatively. And if you are propagating it vegetatively, then the planting space required is 60 by 80 centimeters. That is, between two rows you should have 60 centimeter of spacing, and plant to plant spacing should be about 80 centimeters. And in 1 hectare approximately 23,000 slips are needed, and it is suggested that one should grow this crop through slip planting, because it is better and it is recommended also. Instead of propagating the crop through seeds, it is better that you propagate it vegetatively. Then planting the seedlings, they are planted at a distance of 40 by 40 centimeter, or 40 by 30 centimeter, or 40 by 60 centimeter. It all depends upon the fertility of the soil and interculture implements that you are using. And it is suggested that you should plant it on the ridges. Ridges क्या होते हैं? Raised areas. जैसे आप वो लगाते हैं ना ridges पे जो अंडरग्राउंड क्रॉप्स जो होते हैं, जैसे कि आपकी लीफी ग्रीन्स में आ जाते हैं, बीट रूट है, टर्निप है, रेडिश है, या potato hai. These all are planted on ridges, so it is also suggested to grow lemongrass on ridges and in areas that receives high rainfall. And if you are using the slips along with the roots, then it is suggested that the roots or the slips along with the roots, they should be placed 15 centimeter deep into the soil, and the distance between the two in each hole it is किसका नंबर? जुबैदा बाजी का नहीं है, शहनाज का है. $9927 839282 $9927 839282। मजहर गए वैसे अभी उनके पास, मजहर शायद उन्हीं के पास गए। Okay, then coming to irrigation, the newly bred varieties, that the varieties we have developed nowadays, they require they have water requirement for high water requirement for optimum yield. In North India, 4 to 6 irrigations they are recommended during summer months, and the summer months they last from February to June. In July we have monsoon. Then in rains, if rains they are erratic, the fields they are irrigated at an interval of 3 days during the first month and 7 to 10 days intervals subsequently. In case of erratic rains, when the rains they are not up to the mark, then it is recommended to irrigate the fields after an interval of 3 days in the first month of the crop cultivation, then at an interval of 7 to 8 days after 1 month. And once the plants they get established, irrigation schedule it is adjusted depending upon the water holding capacity of the soil. If the soil it has high water holding capacity, the subsequent irrigations they are reduced, otherwise the roots they may rot. अगर वाटर होल्डिंग कैपेसिटी सॉइल की ज़्यादा होगी तो रूट्स जो है वो रॉट होने लगेंगे, तो उसके अकॉर्डिंगली इरिगेशन देखा जाता है वाटर होल्डिंग कैपेसिटी सॉइल की कैसी है. Then coming to its intercultural operations, as we know, since it is a grass, so first and foremost thing that the weeds should be removed. The fields it should be free from weeds for 3 to 4 months after planting, and then weeding cum hoeing is done for 1 month after every harvest. Weeding cum hoeing means you have to remove the whole weed, and before after every harvest, and 2 to 3 weedings are necessary during an year. अगर आप weeding नहीं करोगे तो some of the other grasses that resembles this may also be grown along with the crop and thus reduce the productivity. So at least the field they should be weeded 2 to 3 times in an year. And if you are planting the crops in rows, then inter operations can be done by means of tractor, drawn cultivator or hand hoe. Then distillation waste of this crop is applied as organic mulch. जब आप इससे extract कर लेते हो oil, तो जो waste बचता है, the distillation waste, it is applied in the field as organic mulch, and it is recommended to be used as 3 tons per hectare. And this mulch it is effective in controlling many of the weeds that are grown in this crop. Then you have also use of herbicides. Herbicides basically they are used to kill the weeds, the weeds that act herbs weeds, and amongst them diuron is applied at the rate of 1.5 kg AI per hectare. AI is active ingredient per hectare. For example, if you have suppose diuron and on the packet it is mentioned that AI is 50, so 50 AI is 50%. 50% means कि उसमें जो है जो आपका अगर 100 ग्राम वेट है डायूरॉन का, तो 100 ग्राम में 50% जो है वो केमिकल जो है इट विल एक्ट अगेंस्ट वीड्स, एंड 50% जो है वो इनर्ट मटेरियल है. सो अगर आपका एक्टिव इंग्रेडिएंट 1.5 kg है, तो उसके अकॉर्डिंग आप अगर डायूरॉन 50% यूज कर रहे हैं, तो इट मीन्स यू हैव टू अप्लाई 3 kg ऑफ डायूरॉन पर hectare because it has active ingredient of 50%. Then oxyflorphene is also used, which should have an 0.5 kg AI per hectare to control the weeds. Then coming to its harvesting and yield, the crop it bear flowers during winters, and the first harvest it is generally obtained 4 to 6 months after transplanting of the seedlings, and then subsequent harvesting of the crop can be done after 60 to 70 days interval, but this also depends upon the fertility of the soil and climatic conditions. अगर soil fertile है तो crop आपका अच्छे से grow होगा and you can harvest it again after 60 to 70 days. और अगर fertility इतनी अच्छी नहीं है then the harvesting period it may get increased. Then seasonal factors also affect the crop harvesting. If we talk about normal conditions, then in an year we can have up to 3 harvests, and in the subsequent years 3 to 4 harvestings can be done. अगर फर्स्ट ईयर है आपका क्रॉप लगाने का तो उसमें जो है 3 हार्वेस्ट हो सकती हैं, एंड सब्सिक्वेंटली 3 to 4 harvestings per year can be done. And these harvesting they depends upon the management practices that we follow. The fields they should be properly irrigated, the weeding should be done, the crop should be free from any sort of diseases, the pH should be according to the need of the crop, the climatic conditions they should also match, and if these are in accordance with the crop then we can have in normal conditions 3 to 4 harvesting. And sickle, sickle क्या होती है? Harvesting is done with the help of sickle, दराती जिसको कहते हैं local language में. So harvesting is done with the help of sickles. पकड़ के उसको जैसे घास वाली घास काटती है, similarly this crop is also harvested. थोड़ा 10 to 15 centimeter base के ऊपर से just cut the leaves. So harvesting it is done with the help of sickles, and plants they are cut approximately about 10 centimeter above the ground. And after you have cut the leaves, then the leaves they are allowed to wilt in the field before transporting it to the distillation unit. उसको हार्वेस्ट करके क्रॉप को कट करके सिकल से उसको वहीं फील्ड में छोड़ दिया जाता है. जब पत्ते सूख जाते हैं then they are transported to the distillation unit. And depending upon the climatic conditions, the soil conditions, plantation of when crop lasts for an average of about 3 to 4 years. तो एक बार आपने क्रॉप लगाया तो अप्रोक्सीमेटली वो क्रॉप 3 से 4 साल चलता है, एंड देन अगेन यू नीड टू रीप्लांट द प्लांट्स इन द फील्ड. And in the first year of crop plantation we have lower yield because plant जो है उस टाइम सॉइल में अपने आप को स्टैब्लिश कर रहे होते हैं. सो ऑयल यील्ड जो है वो थोड़ी कम होती है ड्यूरिंग द फर्स्ट ईयर, बट इन द सेकेंड ईयर इट रीचेस द मैक्सिमम, and accordingly as the plant age the yield it declines. And आप जो कटिंग करते हो approximately on an average there is about 20 to 30 tons of fresh herbage that is harvested per acre per annum from 4 to 6 cuttings, which yields about 80 kg of oil. अगर आप एक साल में देखो ऑन एन एवरेज आपका 25 से 30 टन जो है फ्रेश उसके लीव्स निकलते हैं, दैट यू हार्वेस्ट इन 4 to 6 harvestings in an year, and these harvesting they yield about 80 kg of oil. And under irrigated conditions from newly bred varieties, high varieties, we can have an oil yield of around 100 to 150 kg per hectare. Stems they do not contain any oil content, so agar harvesting ke time pe we have some stems that are removed because the oil content it is only present in the leaves. Now coming to its post harvest management, that is for dry cutting, the harvested lemongrass cut in 1 centimeter long or even small parts are kept under sun for drying, and it requires about 3 to 4 days to completely dry this crop. काटने के बाद उसको जो है the leaves they are further cut into smaller pieces of 1 centimeter long, and then they are kept in the sun to dry completely. Then after the grass it dries in 3 to 4 days, it is allowed to wilt for 24 hours before distillation, and the moisture content of the grass it is reduced to 30%, because at this temperature you can have maximum, at this moisture content you can have maximum oil yield. The chopped crop, it is the small pieces of the chopped crop, they are distilled in the distilleries that are used for distillation of Japanese mint also. तो सेम डिस्टिलरीज कैन बी यूज्ड. आपको ये नहीं कि इसके लिए, इसके डिस्टिलेशन के लिए आपको अलग से डिस्टिलेशन प्लांट लगाना पड़े. यू कैन हैव इट इन द सेम डिस्टिलरीज दैट आर यूज्ड फॉर जापानीज मिंट. Then distillation, oil is obtained through steam distillation. तो इसके distillation के लिए you follow the process of steam distillation. The oil, it has lemon like smell, and that's why the name given, the lemongrass. The oil, it is yellow in color, having 75 to 80% of citrol and some amount of other minor aromatic compounds. And around 4 hours of distillation is needed for complete distillation, for complete extraction of the oil from the grass. Then purification of oil is done. The insoluble particles that are present in the soil, in the oil, they are removed by simple filtration method after mixing it with anhydrous sodium sulfate and keeping it an overnight or at least for 4 to 5 hours. And there may be some color change also, from yellow to some other color, that may be because of rusting. And if such thing happen, then it should be cleaned by steam rectification process. जो इसका लेमन ग्रास का ऑयल का जो कलर होता है सिट्रॉल का, दैट इज येलो इन कलर, लेकिन कभी कभी रस्टिंग की वजह से कलर जो है वो थोड़ा चेंज हो जाता है. And if color changes, then steam rectification process is followed to gain the original color. Then storage and packaging of oil, it is stored in glass bottles or containers that are made up of stainless steel or aluminum or galvanized iron. And all these materials used, they depend upon the quantity of the oil to be stored. अगर छोटा है, कम क्वांटिटी है, then we can use the glass containers, the glass bottles. लेकिन अगर क्वांटिटी ज़्यादा है, then either we use the galvanized iron or aluminum or stainless steel containers. And it is suggested that containers, they should be kept away from direct heat and sunlight in cool and shaded places, because there may occur some reactions because of heat and sunlight. So that was all for lemongrass, the material that has been provided to me. If you have any query, you can ask me, or further clarification Dr. Talha will give you regarding the queries. अगर कुछ पूछना है, you can ask. Any query, any question to anyone? Say yes or no. किसी को कुछ पूछना है बेटा, पूछना हो तो पूछ लो. Okay, then attend your roll calls. Today's